Hey, this is James at All Hail Internal Combustion. Went to a car show yesterday morning and that was cool, and came home and decided to get some work done on my 82 F-150. I've had this hood kicking around for a while and I only had like a quarter of it primed, so I picked up some sandpaper and took the rest of this down to bare metal. I did leave some of the factory primer on there because the way I see it, if it's stuck that good, it's going to be stuck forever. And I'm going to get this thing sanded down today and cut it in around the edges with the gray metallic that I'm going to be using on the truck. And another thing I'm going to do is I've got a set of hinges and a set of springs. I'm going to take them and wire brush them down and sand them and get them in some primer. And I'm probably going to end up painting those red to match the frame. Yeah, so that's about what I'm going to get into today. I'll bring you back after I get this hood cut in and these hinges cleaned up. Alright, so I got the hood all sanded down and wiped it down and blew it off with compressed air and got the dirt off of it. And it is truly a crappy paint job. And as you can tell, I ran out of paint. And I'm sure you guys have heard of fish eyes. Well, I tend to put fish buttholes in my paint work, probably because it's not too clean, but I don't care. There's some sand and scratches because I went after this thing with some 180 because it had a lot of rust on it. And then I hit it with 220, hit it with 2 coats of primer. It's a, 20-foot paint job, but I tend to build 20-foot cars because I don't care about how they look as long as they're not all completely rotted out. I also cleaned up my hinges and got a coat of red on there that'll match everything underneath of the hood. Got my bolts wire brushed down and painted with a coat of red. I just went ahead. I was going to do them in black, but I did them in red. So that way when I scratch them up putting the hood in, I can just go ahead and touch it up with the same red and not have to worry about getting black paint all over the red hinges. There's one of my hood springs, the other hinge, and the other hood spring. And I went to a car show yesterday. I saw a lot of really, really nice cars that had so much money dumped into the paint and everything else on them. And you know what? Go grab a couple cans of paint and clean some stuff up and sand it down and give it a coat of paint and make it look fresh. You don't have to have a $5,000 budget to make your car look decent. There was some young person there. I think I got a picture of his car. He had a straight 6 in it. It was all painted up, looked nice. Didn't seem like too many people were stopping to look at it, but you know what? You got to give the guy credit for at least getting in there, doing some work, and making it good for him. And honestly, I appreciated that. And if the music wouldn't have been blasting, I would have stopped and talked to him and asked him about his car and his engine. But that's a Sunday at All Hail Internal Combustion when Junior, the missus, and the kids are away for the weekend. Pop-Up Flo gets back out here and actually starts working on his own crap. Well, I figured since I did the top side of the hood, I might as well flip this thing over. It really wasn't too bad under here. There was a few rust spots. So I took a wire brush to it and scuffed it down, and I had a can of Krylon Satin Black sitting around, but not a full can, so I went ahead and did all the reinforcements and everything else, and I'll probably mask it off and tape the indents into it. I got 3 more cans of the metallic charcoal coming tomorrow, so I can do the top side of the hood, finish that off, and also got a fender on the truck that's cut in that I can finally put in paint. But yeah, moving right along, and I decided when I was doing this, I was going to go ahead and get one of my rims cleaned up. So I got the inside all cleaned up on that. Got the bead all cleaned up. The other side's been in primer for a while, so I can go ahead and get some color on this. I got a tire to put on it. Just got to clean the front face up, get it all in primer, and let it sit and bake. Alright, so I got that rim cleaned up and primered, and went ahead and where my tires are going to go and painted this side of the rim. I'm going to let this dry overnight. Flip it over and hit it with some red on the opposite side, and then this thing is pretty much ready to have a new valve stem put in it and a new tire put on it. Hooray, progress. Alright, so I got the back side of my rim all cleaned up and primered and got a coat of paint on that. I don't know why I'm all paint crazy over the last couple of days. Maybe it's the fumes, I don't know. But I decided to mask off my hood and hit the spots that I ran out of paint for. I decided to go ahead and use some of this red Junior. Picked a couple of these cans up at Ollie's. I guess they were being clearanced or discontinued. So I got these two big huge cans of, I guess it's some kind of apple red or cherry red or something. So I'm going to go ahead and use those on the rims and the underside of the hood, so all that kind of matches. But after I get the tape off, I'll bring you back and show you what it looks like. It might need a little bit of touch up here and there. I see a couple lighter spots, so I'll hit them on tape, come back. Alright, well, I got this thing untaped and I'm happy with it. I think it's cool and different looking. Seen it done before, but nobody's ever done it like this on this particular 1982 Ford F-150 truck hood, so it's mine. And me and Junior are hopefully going to get this thing mounted back on my truck sometime this afternoon. I've got my springs and hinges and everything all painted, and I think it's going to look nice, and now I just got to make the rest of the truck look nice, and I've been trying to do that for like 4 years now and still haven't really succeeded. But I'm going to put some time into it because I honestly think I actually want to spend some time driving that truck this year. I think that's going to be it for this particular episode of Huffin' Paint Fumes. And we'll see y'all again. Make sure you like and subscribe. And all hail internal combustion.